What's good? It's your boy Fanon. I'm going to talk about, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder and some real interesting comments that came from Anthony Joshua that are not very encouraging as it pertains to the possibility of a Deontay Wilder-Anthony Joshua fight anytime in the near future. It sounds as if Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearns, in the words of Deontay Wilder, are definitely trying to milk it. But before I go into that, first, thank you for all the new subscribers to the channel. It's been a absolutely tremendous month, and thank you to 78 Sports TV who helped that along by allowing me on this channel, opened me up to a new audience, man, and it's been real productive. So shout out to you, man. Now, if you wouldn't mind, please hit the subscribe and the like button, because we're really trying to focus on a lot of live streams. And the best way to get that is if you hit the notification bell, and you should get notified when I go live on the live stream. Sometimes some people are saying that doesn't work sometimes. In that case, maybe unclick your bell icon, then re-click it and see maybe, if it's like, doing the circuit breaker again. I'm not quite sure, but how to go about that. But the live streams will be on archives, and it's been a real good conversation that's been going on in those, man. We got the wrench gang. Oh man, we got the wrench gang, so there's no trolls. It's dang near almost troll-free zone for mature boxing fans. So I hope you guys will subscribe, hit the bell icon, and attend the live streams. They're a lot of fun. We talk about a lot of really good things in boxing, man, with a very mature and knowledgeable crowd of boxing fans. Now, that said, there's an article that came out, and I'll read it and I'll talk, and then I'll go through it. But like I said, it's just, man, it's more the same in the heavyweight division. It came out, Keith Idec entitled the article, "Joshua, Take Away Wilder's Right Hand, Take Away His Confidence," by Keith Idec. Shout out to Keith Idec. As usual, the guy does very, very good work, very consistent with his content. Sometimes I disagree with what he says, but and the little bit of opinion that he does give in his articles. But hey man, nobody's perfect, and no two people are always going to agree, and you can still have mutual respect for one another. Anthony Joshua respects Deontay Wilder's power. As a fighter who has knocked out each of his 20 professional opponents, the unbeaten IBF and WBA, I'm gonna leave out the IBO. Shout out to Angel Santos though. Okay, IBF, IBO, and WBA. That's for you, Angel Santos. Heavyweight champion understands that producing 39 knockouts in 40 fights means your power is legitimate, even if you haven't fought an exceptionally high level of opposition. The reason, however, that Joshua is convinced Tyson Fury would present a more difficult fight for him than Wilder is because Joshua feels Wilder is dangerous with his vaunted right hand, yet not much else. Joshua stated during an interview with Sky Sports that taking away Wilder's right hand in their much anticipated showdown would diminish Wilder's confidence and enable him to win. Wilder, I think would be next after Fury. And just for the sheer fact that his record proves he has a powerful punch, Joshua said. But his powerful punch doesn't come with an uppercut. It doesn't come with a peached left hook. It comes with a straight right hand. So you eliminate one or two of his main weapons, and I think, you kind of chip down the tree with Wilder. And I think he starts losing his confidence. Wilder wants to prove Joshua wrong as soon as possible, but the undefeated heavyweight champions could be headed in two different directions for their next fights. The 32-year-old Wilder of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, retained his WBC title last Saturday when he knocked out Cuban southpaw Luis Ortiz 28-1, 20 KOs, and two no contests at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. The 28-year-old Joshua of Watford, England, will return at the end of the month when he takes on WBO champion Joseph Parker, who's 24-0 with 8 KOs, of Auckland, New Zealand, in a partial unification fight March 31st at Principality Stadium in Cardiff, Wales. England's Fury, 25-0 with 18 KOs, also could get a shot at Joshua before Wilder because a bout between the former IBF, IBO, WBA, WBO champion and the immensely popular Joshua would do huge business in the United Kingdom. Okay, so let me share my thoughts on this. There's a lot of different things in this interview, and I'm gonna go and watch the interview. I think that's good to do that. I'll try to find it on Sky Sports. But first of all, I'm not sure what Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua has been watching, but the last 2 knockouts that Deontay Wilder has had, the last punch on them were uppercuts, excuse me. The last one on Bermane Stiverne was a hybrid jab uppercut that knocked out Bermane Stiverne, and the one that ended the fight with Luis Ortiz was a right uppercut. Deontay Wilder has a very hard jab. He has a very heavy uppercut, and he doesn't just have he has a very powerful straight right hand, but he also has a very strong slapping, hooking windmill jab. Now, while some people talk about Deontay Wilder and his windmill Wilder, those windmills land. He knocks people out with those windmills. So, I'm not quite sure with where he gets that from, though I do believe that it is true that if Deontay Wilder hits you with that straight right hand, that it's not a matter of if you're going to get knocked out, it's when you're going to get knocked out. When he fought Luis Ortiz in that absolutely excellent, wonderful fight to watch, Luis Ortiz took a couple straight right hands. And I thought to myself, wow, man, maybe Deontay Wilder's power is a little overrated. He took one, he didn't take 2. So I'm not quite sure with that. However, he's supposed to say that, and he's supposed to believe that. He's supposed to believe that he will be able to take away Deontay Wilder's confidence. And in saying so, I think that he acknowledges that one of Deontay Wilder's great attributes, and I would agree with him, is Deontay Wilder's self-confidence. He believes in himself, and he showed that by not only in the ring, but he's shown it outside the ring. He's shown it by having enough confidence in himself to fight somebody like Luis Ortiz that he did not have to fight. Somebody like Luis Ortiz, who he didn't make as much cash money on as he would have if he would have taken a much easier, soft, pudgy touch like Dillian White. But he didn't. He has a lot of self-confidence, and he took the tough fight that was there, the tough fight that was available, and he succeeded. And he answered a lot of questions. He silenced a lot of doubters. Not all of them, clearly, because we still have a good number of people talking about the rounds that Luis Ortiz won and whether he was up on a card or down on a card that didn't matter because Luis Ortiz got knocked out. We got people looking, pulling at straws about the referee, whether or not the referee gave him too much time in the 7th round to recover, all of those type of things. That's why I say that he silenced most of the critics, but some critics are just going to be that. And the only way to really silence them, or a larger portion of them, is to get in the ring with Anthony Joshua, which, unfortunately, for boxing, is not in Deontay Wilder's control. If Deontay Wilder was in control of it and had the ability to do it, we would probably see that fight in about 3 months. But that's not the case. There's a lot of excuse makers, and there's a lot of people allowing Anthony Joshua to get away with saying silly things. And Eddie Hearn. Like after Tyson Fury. Now, here's the thing about the Tyson Fury. I don't have a problem with him fighting Tyson Fury if we knew when that was going to ever be possible, and when that was going to be able to happen. Tyson Fury is not going to fight Anthony Joshua in his next fight. He's going to have to. He's still, as far as of the time of this video, I don't know when Tyson Fury is going to fight. Tyson Fury might not fight for another 3 months, and he said he's on record as having said that he wants to get 2 or 3 fights in. He's been out 2 years. These are big boys at the top of the 2 big, solid, powerful fighters at the top of the heavyweight division. And Tyson Fury is going to take his time making sure he's back in shape and all the way together before he goes and gets his belts back. Because everything that is being fought for on March 31st in Cardiff, Wales, the WBC, the IBO, the WBA, the IBO, shout out Angel Santos, and the WBA all belong to Tyson Fury. With that said, he's not going to be in the ring anytime soon. So I guess it harkens back to if Anthony Joshua is going to fight Tyson Fury before he fights Deontay Wilder, how many fights can that be? 4 of them? What are we talking about? Like what Anthony Joshua said and was criticized so sharply for? Maybe 2020? Maybe 2020? That's what he's saying in this. If what he's saying is he wants I want to fight Tyson Fury. You want to fight Tyson Fury before Deontay Wilder? I could understand that if Tyson Fury was active, and you could get Tyson if we weren't still waiting on when he was actually going to have a fight. But since he might not be ready to fight Anthony Joshua until 2020, then is there going to be a rematch clause when Tyson Fury beats him? Let's just be real, man. That's not a good look, man. Deontay Wilder's ready now. Deontay Wilder's ready now. Anthony Joshua's ready now. I hope fans in the UK don't allow. I understand, and shout out to Dr. Blick, UK channel and subscriber, man, that participates in our live streams, man. I had him on the channel, gave his insights onto what was going on in the UK. And I won't, as far as a lot of fight fans believing that they want to see Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua because it's such a big fight there. I can understand them wanting to see that. 100% I can understand them wanting to see that. But hey, man, UK, don't hold it hostage, man. Don't hold the belts hostage if Anthony Joshua gets back past Joseph Parker. But if he loses to Joseph Parker for some crazy reason, not even crazy reason, Joseph Parker can fight, then you have to have a rematch. All right, this is March. When's the rematch? Right? September, November, right? And then of course, what's going on after that? Then of course, we got another mandatory. Then you got to find the WBA mandatory. So what are we in May? What are we in March of 2019? Right? And then of course, by then, do you get Tyson Fury in September of 2019? Probably not. But if it's then you fight that with Tyson Fury, you have a rematch. And then what do you get to Deontay Wilder in 2020? You're ducking. That's a duck. Right now, he's ducking. If he fights for this unification fight and he wins this fight and he doesn't fight Deontay Wilder next, seriously, he's a duck. He's ducking. Because you got another guy with the belt. You've got the opportunity to unify your belts, but you want to wait. You're going to sit around and wait. You're going to sit around and wait for 2 years for Tyson Fury. I said before, right after, and this is Eddie Hearn, this is Anthony Joshua, this is both. They're milking the cow. It looks like they're milking the cow. 8-fight plan. I've been saying that since I heard Eddie Hearn talk about it on IFL TV, about his 8-fight plan for Anthony Joshua. Hey, man, if you want to have an 8-fight plan, have an 8-fight plan, give up the belts and go fight and be popular. You can make a lot of money without those belts. Give them up. If you're not willing to fight the WBC champion, because all the other nonsense has been put to rest. All the other nonsense people have said about Deontay Wilder and the excuses for not making it happen, they've all been put to rest. The who's he fought is put to rest because Deontay Wilder beat Anthony Joshua's mandatory. A dude that it could be very well argued that Anthony Joshua was avoiding, and Eddie Hearn avoided. Signed to Matchroom Boxing, gave him a couple crap fights and threw him out. And then wound up having, and he went in the same conversation that he talked about the 8-fight plan. He said if Ortiz became the mandatory for Anthony Joshua, maybe they would vacate. So he's telling the WBC, and I'm sure if he said that on IFL TV, he'd say that to the WBA. That, look, I know you want these big sanctioning fees, but if he's our mandatory, we just might vacate because we don't think that's a very attractive fight. That's not an attractive fight. The fans wouldn't be interested in that fight. We don't believe that would be an entertaining fight. We don't think that would present Anthony Joshua in the best light to have him fight a 6'4" counter-punching southpaw Cuban. Yeah, we don't think that would make him look good. You dang right. It damn sure wouldn't make him look better with an L on his record. Because Luis Ortiz can fight. And Luis Ortiz is an excellent fighter who was Anthony Joshua's mandatory. I'm telling you, man, I had high hopes. I had high hopes for the heavyweight division. I'll say it again, man. Eddie Hearn is bad for the heavyweight division, man. I miss Don King, man. God dog. Don King might have got in people's pockets and did whatever, but you saw the fights. The fights happened. The fights happened with a guy like Don King. Here you've got this primping and posturing and excuse making and, funny jokes and whatever. Eddie Hearn got a lot of jokes, man. Got a lot of jokes. But not a lot of fights, man. Not a lot of fights. This is the softest touch. Carlos Takam was a soft touch that came because another soft touch pulled out in Kubrat Pulev. Anthony Joshua, the one thing about Keith Idec, and when I said about this article that I was like, look, man, I'm not really feeling, dog, is when he says, the unbeaten IBF, IBO, WBA heavyweight champion understands that producing 39 knockouts in 40 fights means your power is legit, even if you haven't fought an exceptionally high level of opposition. Yeah, and I guess the same thing is true if you fought 20 out of 20 and you've not fought an exceptionally high level of opposition. Like Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has one major dude on his record. One. And that's a 41-year-old Vladimir Klitschko coming off a loss. This dude is not proven that he's proven that he's popular. He's proven that people in the UK are willing to spend their money. I'm just wondering how long the people in the UK are going to be willing to spend money on a cat that won't fight a dude that's right in his face, hoping to get in a ring against a guy that ain't another guy from the UK who ain't been in the ring for 2.5 years. By the time he fights, might not have been in the ring for almost 4 years. When you got a guy with another belt right there looking at you, telling you, I want to fight. How long are they going to willing to do that, man, before the tide turns and you're just starting to look like a sucker where people just don't believe you? I want to believe Anthony Joshua. I want to see the best man between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. But look, not before. If Tyson Fury's not ready now, if he's not ready in the next 6 months to fight, then Anthony Joshua needs to fight Deontay Wilder. He's got one fight against Joseph Parker. If he gets past Joseph Parker, and I say that's a 70-30 type of situation, then that's it. What else do you need? You primed. It's not like you need a tune-up. It's not like Joshua needs a tune-up. He fought Klitschko in July. He fought Takam in November. He would have fought, he'd fight Joseph Parker in March. That's 3 of his 8-fight plan, right? That's 3 of his 8-fight plan. Let's cut that 8-fight plan in half, man, and do it in 4. And if he can beat Deontay Wilder, hey, man, hats off to you. You're now the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world with all 4 belts. Something that hadn't happened since Mike Tyson. That's something that could be significant for Deontay Wilder. Excuse me, for Anthony Joshua and for Deontay Wilder. But I have a suspicion that he understands that Deontay Wilder is more than just a right hand. And then more than likely, after watching Luis Ortiz, that he's not going to, the Luis Ortiz fight, that he's not going to be able to take away Deontay Wilder's confidence. Because Deontay Wilder was confident the whole way through that fight, even when he was getting hit by Luis Ortiz in the 7th round, which in my opinion is the harm being inflicted on Deontay Wilder in that 7th round is getting a little bit exaggerated. Little bit exaggerated. He was definitely stuck in a whirlwind. He got hit with a right hook off the ropes. It really hurt him. But after that, he covered up, he moved, and if that fight had been stopped, you got people praying that fight had been stopped. Anyway, man, it is what it is, and I'm out. Peace. Check out the live streams.